Is the One Being overrated? To answer that, we first need to talk about who the One Being is. I'll let Damashi explain.
The Kamidogu made possible the creation of reality. The Elder Gods used them to split the consciousness of the One Being into what we know as the realms.
I do not understand. What is this One Being?
Before the creation of the realms, there were only the Elder Gods and the One Being. The One Being fed off the Elder Gods. It consumed them. A war raged in the timeless void until 6 Elder Gods forged the Kamidogu and used them to splinter the One Being into the many realms.
I am humbled by the scope of what you have revealed to me.
Now, if anyone ever merges all the realms, the One Being will awake, and it will be the end of everything as his body literally makes up all the realms. Now, it's stated that all of reality is the dream of the One Being.
I have heard tales that the realms are actually a consciousness trying to wake up. That would mean we are nothing but dreams.
So everyone should disappear when he wakes up. But, and I know this isn't canon, in Battle of the Realms, the One Being comes back, and everyone doesn't disappear. And Liu Kang, with the help of the Elder Gods, beats the One Being who joined with Shinnok. Now I'm just going to assume that the Elder Gods stopped everyone from disappearing. I don't know why the One Being is so small, or why they aren't fighting in a void. I guess the One Being was just being nice or something. But it sets the notion that if the One Being pulled up, and you don't instantly disappear, he isn't full size, and you aren't in a void, you can actually fight him and win, if you're strong enough. And since it took 6 Elder Gods to beat the One Being, that's about how strong you need to be. Now that's well and good, especially since the Elder Gods are beings of unfathomable power who are completely out of reach. But in Armageddon, the characters get Blaze's power. In endings where they try to fight the Elder Gods, they fail, as seen with Cobra and Quan Chi. But that's a 6v1. Raiden's ending says he became stronger than the Elder Gods, and when you take into account MK11 writer Sean Kittleson's statements that elementals like Blaze are stronger than the Elder Gods.
I do have a question for you. Elementals. How do they factor into the hierarchy of Elder God?
I would put them, to me, you could categorize them around, they're more Titan, on the Titan scale than God.
Okay, so they're like scale. Above the Titans. Above the Elder Gods.
I would put them in an in-between space even.
Okay, so it's kind of like if Elder Gods are to the left and Titans are like slightly higher to the right, the Elementals are like kind of hovering betwixt.
Yeah, it's like how close are you to the One Being?
Right.
How far are you from the source?
Then it's possible this statement is also referring to the Elder Gods, and that Blaze's power made them stronger than a single Elder God. I should also note that Blaze's power seems to bring them up to a certain level. An example of this is Cobra becoming 1,000 times stronger, while Shao Kahn only becomes 10 times stronger. So statements like his strength surpassing the other gods should apply to any ending. So if we want to be generous to the Elder Gods and the One Being, we can say that Blaze Shao Kahn is equal to the Elder Gods, making the Elder Gods only 10 times stronger than Shao Kahn.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
I have a quick theory I'd like to share. Now, why is Sindel so strong? Sindel was not impressive at all until Shao Kahn gave her Shang Tsung's soul. Then her power just exploded, and now she's boxing up Elder Gods.
Elder Gods tremble before me, Shiva.
The only other time we've ever seen such a radical change in power coming from the combination of 2 fighters would have to be Fire God Liu Kang. Raiden gave Liu Kang his powers and became part of his soul. And then they went from being weaker than the Elder Gods to piecing up a Titan. So I have a theory that whatever Fire God Liu Kang did was the same thing Sindel underwent, even if Shao Kahn didn't intend for that. So stick with me for a minute as I try to put numbers on this. Sindel was killed by Quan Chi.
Wife, I have missed you. If Quan Chi were here, I'd hoist him by the ankles and split him through for all the time he stole from us.
Now let's be generous and say they're on the same tier and that they're both a 1. This version of Quan Chi was beat by Kung Lao even when he was working with Shang Tsung, who for generosity's sake we'll also call a 1. In Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi both got stronger, with the 2 being relative and Shang Tsung beating Kung Lao. Let's call these new versions of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi a 2. Working together, these 2 beat Shao Kahn, so let's be generous and say that Kahn is only twice as strong as them individually, making Shao Kahn a 4. Let's also put Liu Kang and Raiden in this tier, also making them 4s. Shao Kahn, when he got the power of Blaze, became 10 times stronger, making him a 40. So let's say Blaze Shao Kahn, Sindel, and Cetrion are all on the same tier. Seeing that Sindel was a 1, fusing with Shang Tsung who was also 1, and became a 40, let's just say that this fusion makes you 40 times stronger. So if Liu Kang was a 4, when he became Fire God Liu Kang, he became a 160. That's also where Kronika and Shang Tsung with the crown would be, making the Titans 4 times stronger than the Elder Gods.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Anyways, if the Elder Gods are 10 times stronger than Shao Kahn, and it took 6 Elder Gods to beat the One Being, then that means the One Being is only 60 times stronger than Shao Kahn. And that's a high ball for the One Being's strength, since Blaze Shao Kahn should be stronger than Cetrion. And that's horrible, horrific. To put this into context, 6,000 is the number of Cobras it would take to beat the One Being. Literally 2 battalions worth of Cobra is all it would take to fight the One Being. And Shiva from Aftermath, you know, the same Shiva who beat Katana who beat Shao Kahn. It would take roughly 60 Shivas to beat the One Being. That's ridiculous. You know that meme? Who would win, a trillion lions or the sun? Yeah, well 60 Shivas versus the One Being is a more fair fight than that. I think you still don't understand how unfathomably weak these statements make the One Being. 6 Sindels. That's all it would take to beat the One Being. 6 Sindels. A Justice League of just Sindel would be overkill. Some MK writers said that Kronika is stronger than the One Being, which is absolutely not true. Although if these numbers are correct, then she should be roughly 2/3 as strong as him though, as brain dead as that sounds. In the beginning I asked, is the One Being overrated? And now I say that the threat he poses is not understated. If he woke up, then everyone would instantly die. But that being said, if he pulled up and the characters actually lived long enough to fight him, then with the information presented to us throughout these games, and especially in Armageddon, yes, he is highly overrated. The dude who is supposed to be the pinnacle of existence is less than twice as strong as Kronika, and that's terribly disappointing.